buttons in the ceiling ready for the plywood. They're actually screwed in to the metal. That was just temporary while I drilled it, and brackets at the end there, brackets, 2 screws and glue. That one is a bracket at the end. I couldn't drill through because there's lots of cables there, and a screw, and that, 2 screws, so I can screw the plywood to that once I've put the insulation and vapor barrier in. The window is all insulated and vapor barriered, and this piece of wood that goes up the top there was really heavy and only held on by 3 screws, long screws it says there. So that's going to go up there like that, but I've drilled a couple of extra holes. It's going to be 5 screws, and I cut out these 2 long slots to reduce the weight because it was ridiculously heavy. So that's that job to do now. So I've put that piece of wood up there. I've still got the other bit to go across there, and that's where your plastic wall liner goes. Eventually I'll carpet on that as well. I've just marked out roughly the 400 square where my skylight has gone, just to give me a rough idea at the moment. Waiting for the weather to warm up a bit before I can cut that out and seal it, but slowly getting there. Completely insulated, that's all insulated, and I just wanted to correct something regarding the system in here, and I did make a in the description of video 4 where I mentioned these big what do you call it, connectors here, contacts, and the back one seems to go directly to the Durite split charger at the back, so that makes sure that your vehicle battery doesn't get discharged by using stuff in the back. I am actually going to do away completely with that unit now. I've changed my mind after a couple of things. I used a simple Webasto loom to go from there direct to the rheostat and connected it to the battery, and kept getting an F06 error code. And I've since been told by a professional heater fitter that the Webasto will have its own CPU on board, so really need software to change that. So I'm basically going to rip that Webasto out. It's over 6 years old anyway, and I know it's about 800 quid worth of kit new, but I'm going to put in a 1/10 of the price Chinese diesel heater, which I've had a lot of success with in other vans, and at least the hole is drilled, the exhaust and the fuel line is already there, and I will get a battery to battery charger, change all this unit. And the other thing that I've changed, sorry it's very dark today because of that rain and that, is I'm going to have an actual fixed double bed. We're fed up making up beds and having to move mattresses and things, so we're going to have a fixed double bed across the way. And we've put the, you probably saw the one of the rear seats in. That's really nice and comfy. The one thing when you're building seats and bed seats is that you often don't have the incline. you see some really nice designs, but you really need sort of cushions and that to get in the small of your back. So I'm not sure whether I had already shown you the rotating seat. Sorry about all the equipment everywhere, but when I'm moving that's probably going to be across where the fixed bed is to hold the mattress in place. But yeah, having the rotating seat is fantastic because you can just walk and in between the seats without having to get out of the van every time you want to get in the back. It's great for if you've parked anywhere a bit dodgy and you're a bit worried and would you have to move quickly or anything like that. So that is really handy. I've bought the wind deflectors to put up in the window, and on a day like today is a good example where you want the windows open to allow some ventilation, but the rain would get in the windows. So it's nice to have those open a crack at night time as well. And I need to re-stick my dash cam because it keeps falling off. So I've sound deadened inside here, which was easy enough. The plastic liner is quite easy to pop off. And what a difference it makes already when I've slammed the door across. We don't get this clang anymore. It's a more solid thump. So I'll be insulating in there and just in there a bit, trying not to mess up any electrics. And then the other thing there was up the top here, I removed the plastic panel and that's solid, so can't really insulate in there. So I think I'll stick some of that bubble wrap vapor barrier on it and then carpet it. So that's the idea there. Probably again, this could change, but probably I'll move these leisure batteries to just underneath where the bed is, so it's kind of in the garage area, but there will be a hatch in there for where the porta potty goes. Access the batteries, then do 1 meter or 2 500 B&Q units. I'm not sure. I was going to order a 1 meter unit like from Camit, but they're quite expensive, and there's a 3 to 4 week, I think, delay in ordering them. So that's roughly the idea at the moment. I've checked underneath the van there and there's a nice plain piece of floor pan that I can drill through a dropout for the gas. So I could have the cooker there and then the sink there, and that one of the reasons for that was, okay, I'll need to protect the bed part there, but if you have a cooker here and someone comes in, they might touch something hot. So basically I think I'll just have the sink there. I'm not going to bother drilling through like I did in previous vans. I'm just going to have a 10-litre waste container, and that's the plan so far. I've got 3 sheets of plywood to put up here, so I've got a 1 sheet full size will go up there, and then 2 smaller sheets will go on that side. And the thing that I've learned is that sometimes you need access to the ceiling again, and so for example, if you needed to do any work on that vent, then it's really easy to just remove 1 panel. I've seen a lot, it's really fashionable to have tongue and groove, but if it's all interlocked, how the heck do you know, it must be quite awkward, especially to get into the center part. Now there's nothing in the center there, but there's cables behind here, and you just might want to change, you know, there's a wire running along there. I've extended it. That was the PIR light that was in the center. I've extended it because I think that's where we're going to have our heads, so that will be a reading lamp. And yeah, just cracking on. I've think I've taken maybe 3 weeks just to get to this stage. It's been really cold, and just doing a few hours a day, but you know, just getting the floor done, insulated, and trying to get all these bits and pieces to come together. It takes forever really, and I think once all this insulation is finished and the panels are back on, I can look at carpeting it another time, or carpeting it bits at a time, and it just seems to take forever. But as soon as that's finished, I think the actual building part will seem to be a lot quicker. As one helpful subscriber said, any issues with the heater or the controls, contact Clark's Vehicle Conversions. I don't know how helpful they might be. Well, I have ripped out the electrics, and that's all the cables there into there, and I kept the small inverter and some cables, and that's me going to start again. Today it's 0 degrees outside, no frost though. I've got the fan heater on, and I am going through all these cables one by one, labeling them. I've put lights temporarily on, hanging up, and basically I am labeling them all. That one I think is going to be a fan above the bed. So the sliding door card is fitted, and some carpets around done as a narrow strip because I can't use the spray adhesive, so I had to glue that first and then get the bit of stretch. I had to do a fillet piece there because I just couldn't quite get the stretch, but it's not actually going to be seen because there's going to be a kitchen unit there. I've still got the top part to do, but that part's coming along, and I've been doing maybe some rethinking of where the batteries are going here, and how these cables, I undid that earth to swivel the connection round the ring, and I think, well, this is all the leads that I've managed to label for all the different lights. I think that's going to come up here, maybe into a panel here, but I haven't decided yet. I'll know more once I've got the bed in and the kitchen unit where that's going to go. Obviously one consideration is if that's where the cooker is there, I don't want lots of steam going up into the electrics. Potentially it could sit just to the left, or just underneath the bed there on a piece of wood, a fascia or something. Haven't quite decided.